AI can produce genuinely high-quality content, but only when you guide it well. The foundation is what this lesson calls the content-context triangle. Every content prompt needs three things. First, audience. Who is actually reading this? For example, marketing managers at mid-size B2B companies. Second, purpose. What should the content achieve? Maybe convince them to try your free trial. And third, voice. How should it sound? Professional but friendly, confident, not arrogant. Miss any one of these and you get generic, ineffective content that could have come from anyone. So before you write a single content prompt, pin down those three answers. Audience, purpose, and voice are the pillars everything else in this lesson builds on. Let's see the triangle in action with a blog post. Notice how this prompt spells out audience, senior software engineers evaluating build tools. Purpose, position us as experts and drive downloads. And voice, technical and peer-to-peer, not salesy. Then it gives a concrete topic and a clear structure. A hook opening, brief context, 5 numbered sections each with a problem, a solution, and a code snippet or metric, and a conclusion with a call to action. It even sets length at 1,200 to 1,500 words and adds constraints like no jargon without explanation and include real numbers. That level of detail is exactly why the output comes back focused and usable instead of vague. The more structure you hand the model, the less guessing it does. Email is a different format, so the prompt gets more specific about structure. Here, we're announcing a new AI-powered task prioritization feature to current paying users, with the goal of getting them to try it. Look how granular the instructions are. A subject line under 50 characters that creates curiosity, preview text that complements the subject instead of repeating it, then a body of 3 short paragraphs. First, acknowledge the pain point. Second, introduce the feature with a focus on benefits. Third, a simple call to action. The CTA button text should be action-oriented, 2 to 4 words. The tone is a helpful friend sharing good news, under 150 words total, and it explicitly bans hype words like revolutionary and game-changing, plus exclamation points. Constraints like those keep the copy human. Social posts live or die on the first line, so the prompt prioritizes that. This LinkedIn example celebrates reaching 10,000 customers for a 3-year-old B2B SaaS startup, in a voice of humble gratitude that feels authentic. The format is precise. A hook line to stop the scroll, a short story of 2 to 3 sentences on how they got here, 3 bullet points of lessons learned, a call to engagement in the form of a question, and 3 relevant hashtags. The constraints are just as important. Under 1,300 characters, no bragging or hype. Focus on customers, not the company, and end with a question to drive comments. That last instruction is strategic because questions invite replies, and replies boost reach. Here's a key idea. The same message should sound different depending on where it lives. Take a strong quarter. In a formal annual report, you'd write, "Our company achieved significant growth this quarter." In a conversational blog, it becomes, "We had a pretty amazing quarter, and here's what drove it." On social, it might be, "What a quarter," with a rocket emoji and the inside story. And in technical docs, it's Q3 metrics indicate 34% year-over-year growth driven by. Same facts, 4 completely different voices. The lessons rule is simple. Always specify which voice matches your channel and audience. When you start a content prompt, name the voice explicitly so the model doesn't default to a bland, one-size-fits-all tone. To put it all together, think about announcing a single product launch across 5 channels, an in-depth blog post, a personalized email to customers, a professional LinkedIn post, an engaging Twitter thread, and a formal press release. Ask yourself how each prompt would differ and what stays consistent. The core facts stay the same, but audience, purpose, and voice shift for every channel. And that's exactly what your prompt has to encode. That's the whole lesson in one line. Great content prompts marry audience, purpose, and voice into coherent instructions. Now, try it yourself. Open this lesson on Free Academy AI and edit these prompts right in the interactive playground, or paste one into ChatGPT or Claude and watch how adding audience, purpose, and voice transforms the output.